So when a manufacturer of a car issues a recall for a model that is something that you own, you should really heed that warning. At the end of the day, manufacturers don't do this lightly. They only do so when it's a serious fault that's been discovered in the cars that they have created and sold. However, a recent report here looks very, very concerning to say the least, as millions of potentially faulty cars and vans have never been checked despite safety recalls carried out by manufacturers. Let's have a look at this, guys. This is, worrying to say the least. Millions, that is a very significant number to say the least. Full article on themotoringchronicle.com as always. Failure to maintain customer relationships means that millions of faulty or even potentially unsafe cars and vans are on the road despite being subject to a safety recall. Data experts ADS have learned that over 3 million cars and light commercial vehicles, aka vans, recalled between 2018 and 2023 were never checked by franchise dealers. ADS warns that the total number of unchecked vehicles is even higher and will increase until dealers manage their customer contact management more effectively so that they can tell all drivers affected to have their vehicles checked. Safety recalls are a common procedure, meaning that over 2,000 models totaling over 14 million new vehicles were identified by manufacturers as requiring dealer attention between 2018 and 23. Manufacturers normally notify affected customers by post, advising them to contact their local franchise dealer. Some dealers proactively contact customers, but some wait till a vehicle is brought in for servicing before carrying out the necessary checks. With increasingly variable and extended service intervals, particularly for electric vehicles, a dealer may not see a vehicle for 2 years or more, or the customer may go elsewhere for servicing, and therefore many remain unaware of outstanding safety recalls. Consumers also may not receive recall and notifications due to a change of address or simply overlook the letters. As a result, if vehicles are serviced elsewhere, the franchise dealer loses contact with the customer who remains unaware of any issue. The root of the problem is therefore a failure to maintain contact with those original customers who still have the car. But as ADS has repeatedly warned, franchise dealers often lose track of customers due to poor database management. This also means that they lose business unnecessarily, but these missed safety recall figures now show that the stakes are potentially even higher. ADS also recently alerted dealers to the risk that missed safety recalls could result in a sudden, unmanageable deluge of cars being presented for checks or repairs due to possible changes to MOT failure rules. Currently, a missed recall is recorded as an advisory during an MOT. However, some observers suggest that it should become an automatic failure under a rule change that is now under consideration by the government. ADS told the industry that dealer workshops could be overwhelmed by demand that they could not meet if the expected MOT rule change is not announced suddenly. The business cautioned dealers that such a situation would result in millions of inconvenienced and angry drivers potentially unable to drive their cars, and massive problems for dealer workshops who could not manage a sudden demand for time and potentially new parts. Now the scale of the issue has been confirmed by the Driver and Vehicle Standards Agency, who have revealed the following number of outstanding safety recalls for the years requested by ADS. And in fairness, those numbers have in general decreased, but even in 2023, you're talking about over nearly 400,000 out of a total of 1.3 million that have not actually gone in when they need to, which is worrying to say the least. Roughly we're talking anywhere between, what would that be there? That's about 25% there, nearly for 2018. Anywhere down to, up to, about a third, nearly, getting there for some of these. So we're not quite a third, actually. My maths is not quite holding up there. More like a quarter. So that's roughly what it is for most of these, but it's a lot at the end of the day. But yeah, concerning. It's not really customers. I mean, the thing is, people might not be aware about them at the end of the day. Like, some of these do make national headlines. Like, I remember, was it Toyota with their brakes years and years ago? ago, there was like a Toyota Aygo or something like that, a very popular car in the UK. They found a brake problem or something like that that actually caused a few serious injuries, maybe even fatalities actually. So Toyota, unsurprisingly, wanted to call them all back, so they didn't want to repeat that. It's a pretty bad image for your company at that point, especially when you kind of pride yourself on reliability, as Toyota do. So that can happen, but at the end of the day, people might not be aware of it. There'll be a lot of these recalls that don't make national headlines. In fact, they rarely do. It's only really when it's a particularly severe one like that, when people have actually passed away or had a serious injury, that it does make national headlines here in the UK. Otherwise, it's not really big news. It's not, because it just happens all the time. So it'd be very easy for customers not to realise there's a problem there. Particularly, if they move address, they send the letters out, there's no one there. Or it goes to somebody else, it's addressed to somebody else, and they don't open the letter, because why would you? It's very you have that forwarding address for you, and it is up to these companies to actually maintain their information better. But as we brought you a while ago here on the motoringchronicle.com, we know that is a big problem right now that could relatively easily be fixed by dealerships. But even though some are making proactive steps to improve this now this report's come out, I bet you there'll be a lot that aren't. That's just the way it is, though. But yeah, guys, what do you think about this? Have you intentionally avoided a safety recall for your car? Be honest with me. I'm not going to judge. I'm not going to judge. But that's not a great idea if that's the case. But I suspect, like the article is saying, it's much more likely these people are just unaware. They missed the letters or get somewhere else, sent somewhere else or whatever. So yeah, your thoughts in the comments below, guys. Like, share, comment, subscribe as always. And of course, you want to see more content like this, head over to the motoringchronicle.com. I've got plenty of articles, plenty of videos just like this. So yeah, have a fantastic start to your week. See you very soon.